was going to ask you about this. So it's like, you're mentioning that you're the one writing the sheet music, basically, like, roughly. Yeah. How do you come across the knowledge of every single instrument you want to use?
Pain and suffering.
Because obviously if you're a violinist, you do violin. And you're very good at it. But like, you're like, I need to know this Russian synth. Also, can I find the harp? And I need to write that. Like, this sounds like an overload of knowledge that you have to acquire or have a rough understanding of almost everything.
So when you're orchestrating for a larger ensemble, so harp is a very, very specific and very unique instrument. It works on a pedaling system, which I understand the concept of, but don't know how to like achieve.
Right.
So what I would say is that you kind of working up your base knowledge of certain things. Right. Obviously, like when I write woodwind sectionals, it's a lot kind of, let's call it more natural.
Yeah, because you understand that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I understand that if I do something quite fucky, that there's going to be a will or a way to kind of get it done. Yeah, and that's why you hear like quite a few flute passages and whatever. So because you hear a lot of flute jumping up and down and up and down and up and down because like yep.
It's like it's just your comfort instrument, right? It's just like.
But then when it comes to say Dimitri, the violinist, because he is such a fucking boss, I can do like what would normally be insultingly stupid shit, but he'd be like, okay, let's go, and just fucking I can do this, I can do that, and then just fucking like does all these different permutations of it. Just do a bunch of takes and just cut them together. And it just sounds fucking awesome. And I'm just sat there like, oh shit, it actually worked. And then like, so it's literally just like fuckload of trial and error.
I was going to say, it must be a long journey.
Couple of risks, but then also, like I did learn orchestration. Like which is basically just going through every instrument and just being like, what does and does not work. And you just build it up. So flute, but then there's alto flute, bass flute, and then bass flute has certain characteristics in which, if you go too high on the bass flute, it's going to start doing overtones.
Right.
The alto flute and the flute or the piccolo won't do in the same way.
Would you say there's always a concern then when you're like, I don't want this guy to think I'm a fucking idiot for writing this and then handing it to a professional? Like,
that's why I like giving a chill atmosphere in the studio.
Okay.
And for example, that's why if you see in that
that's when you start to call people mates.
Yeah, it's like I like you want to bring your A game. So you come with the best possible job that you could have done. You've done as much research as possible on the instrument. It's I mean, because that's why I gained a lot of weight in pandemic. So I was just like working, but I couldn't do anything to like kind of get rid of the stress. Because it's like like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, and like the Star Wars thing, like you want to make sure that is right.
Of course.
You want to bring the best fucking sheet music. You want it to be beautifully typeset. You want that to be the best looking music you've ever written on page, and you want the musicians to be happy because you want the project to go really, really well. And thankfully it did. But like again, like you bring your A game and then you give the musician enough adequate scope if there is a mistake. Or you get yourself, you know what it is? It's almost like you're refining the level of potential mistake down to where there's like you're in a sphere of like safety. And then within that, if there's a mistake, if there's something like that, that dynamic doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, blah, blah, blah.
Will they tell you, will they be like, this part isn't really doable, or like, let's just try
They should tell you, and that's why it's good to be like, hey, just so you know, if there is anything wrong, just tell me, I don't mind.
That's why I guess.
But if it's but that is literally the conversation. You have that conversation all the time. Because you like, I don't. There are people that it's like, okay, we'll go for a take now. Okay, thank you. People like that, and like that's fine. But I guess maybe like my style, my style right now at least is like, I'm just happy to be here, and I want to make this.
I'm just a mate.
I haven't composed anything. But they keep rehiring me.
Like, what's up?
Just tell me if I'm being a dickhead. Just tell me.
We're gonna sit down. We're just gonna play it through. If there's any questions, I've done my best to make sure that you guys have a good time. And if you do a good time, like I feel like you just, because I was explaining this to you last night as well. Like there's a couple of thoughts of school about like how many takes you should do.
Right.
And in certain countries there'll be like 1, 2, or 3 or 4 takes that you'll do a run through, and then they'll be like, okay, we're done.
Right.
And then there's other times where there's other types of composers where you'll basically like do like multiple takes, even like what would be considered potentially unnecessary takes, just to get like different kind of like permutations of certain phrases like that, so that you can cut together and kind of do like kind of different things.
Yeah.
So I'm in that second part.
I was going to say,
I'm in the second part, which is really not economical, but at the same time, there have been like there's been countless times where I've been able to basically like create a really cool sort of almost like a combination or like an amalgamation. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, amalgamation. Yeah.
Of like different takes.
That's
where like, you know, I'm like, like bar 34, beat 4, the cello like kind of slipped a little bit on that one note, and it sounds a little fucked up, but let's cut that in because I like the fucked upness. And then go back to like this other take which is a bit more clean, something like that, and then let's bring in this sort of thing.
The more you're telling me about it, the more stressed out I'm getting. Like, what if you know? Because if you have, like you said, you had 3 of each instrument earlier.
Yeah.
What if like one guy's just sick, doesn't turn up, or like
that's not a thing.
Not a thing?
No, it shouldn't be.
what if like someone's they got to fly over, the visa gets delayed or something, and it's like, oh crap, we need to find another guy. Like this sounds like I'm getting stressed out. Imagining all these moving parts.
If it makes you feel better, they're already there.
Okay.
Yeah, they're already there. These guys do that day in and night. And put it this way: if there was someone that was unable to come in because they were sick or whatever, the next person's just there.
Okay.
Right.
Just wondering about how this whole process.
No. I mean, okay. So in that case, you're hiring maybe not just a room, but there'll be what's called a fixer, an orchestral fixer.
Who will help get everything.
Who is like they organize everything because you don't know everyone. You really don't.
Right.
So you're coming into a situation where you're hiring a service. So you're hiring the studio,
they give you everything
and you're hiring like normally there more times than none. I've seen that the studio and the like musician hiring service are one and the same. They come hand in hand. So if they say, if you're hiring the studio, have you got musicians? No. Okay, use the person that fixes all our
that makes sense.
And then they'll say, okay, well, we need X amount of and we need X amount of woodwind this and brass that. And then let's say, you know, someone doesn't rock up, they just make a phone call, and I've seen it happen. Like it's like, something didn't happen. Can you come in? Yep, great. See you in 10 minutes. Awesome.
Wow.
And you just kind of like you can tailor the session. Unless there's a request for them to use their own conductor, I always get up my own stuff. That way you have a lot more control. I'm a bit control freaky, so I'm sure we all.
I figured that.
Of course. We all appreciate being very, very anal about control.
Yeah.
But just like let's say for example, like you're missing a cello. I'm just using an example. But, you know, let's say the cello, cellist falls down and
explodes.
Let's go. About that is less.
You're about to say some real shit.
I could feel something deep that was coming out there.
I was like, let's not go there. Sorry, microphone. Let's say like cellist is suddenly explodes. Just like Thanos snaps out. That was a very good snap.
That was a firm snap.
Do you know why? Conducting. So you gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Then why were you shocked by your own snap? It's
like, oh my god, I can conduct.
I have the power.
This entire episode is going to win Best Tangent.
Honestly.
Whoppers. Fuck, what was I saying?
So the cellist explodes.
Conductor exploding.
Let's say, okay, let's quickly switch over to like a different. Let's switch over to like just a violin and viola only track for like 10 minutes. Okay, let's record that. Great. Finish that. Welcome back, cellist. Let's go back to that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
You just have to keep like working through it.
Yeah.
You work in tandem with what's called a session producer, which is basically someone in the booth. If it's not you, like the composer can produce their own session if they are hiring a conductor to conduct. But if you've decided to conduct yourself, you work in tandem with the producer or maybe 2 producers in the booth saying, yep, we've got that take. No, don't be a psychopath about that. Move on, please, sort of thing. Right. You can get in your own head, especially when you conduct in your own head.
Exactly.
Okay, well, actually, I remember you saying, like, have you got it? Have you got it? Like, in a video when you were talking about how you have to, I think you were on scene, like, it's like the Boiis Club or something like that. Yeah. And you were talking about how you're doing takes of or interviews and stuff. Yeah. And then you're like, have we got it? Do we need to go again? You have like that sort of, what would be the word? Nervousness about, okay, do we actually have the content? Or do we not have the content? Do we need to go again? And that,
right.
But it's important.
But if you're filming it and you're also, in the shot, then you've got to go back. You got to go back. And you got to have that in mind. But if but having someone behind the camera, or in this case, in the recording booth, saying, "No, we got it. Just chill. Let's move on."
Yeah,
that kind of moves the grease.
It's like nice reinforcement, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like I guess they should, but like the cameraman, he's like getting the shot, but he doesn't necessarily give a shit if it doesn't look great. Sometimes it depends. Like,
also,
I would avoid that. I would recommend.
And it's also sometimes they don't know what kind of shot that you want. You know, as like normally there's with a director,
they don't have as much investment as like say someone you hire to be invested. Like
Well, I mean, if you're hiring a session producer, they should
So you're hiring someone who's like his job is to be as invested as you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But obviously not everyone will be,
because otherwise he's just a guy at the booth.
Right.
No, I do see where you're coming from now. So there are times when someone is just saying, "Okay, have we got the standard?"
They'll be like, "Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we got it." Yeah,
Right.
and
You go back and you're like, "You didn't have it."
No, but then that would be hopefully where you could that would maybe where experience kicks in, and you say, "No, we're gonna go again."
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're kind of driving the train. Like, people are really supporting you. People are there doing their job, but you know, between you and maybe like the music supervisor or something like that, you guys are driving that train. So you've got to be like on it. And then this is where it's not just a physical job; it's also super mental. Because you've got to focus on. Not only if you're especially conducting, you got the physicality of making sure, okay, cue that person in, keep on going like that. You come in, beat 3, blah 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 blah. You know, so you're cueing people, even though they can do it. But you know, through the physical act of conducting, it's not just about keeping tempo. Which, to be fair, everyone's got a click in their ear, so it doesn't really matter too much. But what it's about is coaxing more performance out of it. More.
Like you're basically just like micromanaging everyone, right?
Hopefully in like in a positive way.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, for example, if I'm going like this to you, I'm like, okay, sing, and then okay, on that last one, then it's like sing more.
Yeah.
Right.
So like,
do it again.
Sounds a bit constipated, but at the same time, it's like, okay, that should hopefully coax a little bit more, you know, you might push a little harder, something like that. So if you're doing that at the same time, you're also listening to everyone else in your headphones or like in the room, making sure that everyone else is playing at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're doing that over and over again for 9 hours a day.
Yeah.